It feels amazing, and it also feels kind of surprising, because I don't feel 60 or whatever 60 feels like. Maybe I do feel 60, but I don't feel like what I thought 60 was going to feel like. I actually feel better now probably than I did at 30. When I was younger, I thought 60 was old, honestly. I mean, I grew up in the country, deep country, and people that were 60, they had wrinkles, they didn't exercise. They wore old, smocky looking dresses. I mean, so they went to church all the time, but that was it. They didn't exercise. I didn't drink water, so maybe that's why all the wrinkles. So I thought growing up, okay, 60 is old. But then as I got closer and closer, it's like, okay, wow, I can't believe I'm ready to turn 60. So I kind of beefed up the exercise and the water and all that stuff, trying to, avert looking like what I thought 60 was going to look like. But now that I'm here, it's pretty amazing. Honestly, I feel good. Like I said, I feel great. I mean, because I exercise all the time, but I feel great. It's nothing like I thought it was going to be. Like I said, it was scary, but I felt good in my body. I felt healthy. I felt vibrant. I was active, doing things, working out. So as I got closer and closer, it was kind of unbelievable that, okay, I'm really about to turn 60, but, we'll just go with the flow and turn 60. I've got some wisdom behind me. I think so. When you're younger, you just stop and think about things. That wisdom is not there. You kind of react versus kind of thinking about things and before you decide to act. So I think that wisdom is the biggest part. And I think honestly, just letting people be themselves instead of getting upset if they're not doing what I think they should be doing. Just going with the flow. Let people be people, and accept them where they're at. A younger you, was that, you had to have the name brand stuff. You had to have the hair, the weave, all this other stuff. But, as I got older, more mature, that wasn't as important. It was really being authentic, being yourself, that authenticity about each individual, just being themselves instead of trying to be somebody else. To me, that's beautiful. And over the years, that really has changed because I used to love the fashion stuff. But, as you get more mature and older, or at least as I got more mature and older, that wasn't as important. I'd rather meet somebody that's really themselves and not trying to be somebody else. That to me is beautiful. To me, personally, aging gracefully means really just kind of going with the flow. Just really doing the things that you can do to stay as healthy as you can. We don't know what life is going to throw us at any point. But just knowing that I'm trying to eat right, I exercise, I'm doing the things that I know are the right things to do. So hopefully, we don't know what's going to happen, but at any point, I'm still trying to live as healthy as I can and do the right things so that I can age gracefully, and keep active. I keep moving. I don't want to have that, I can't get out of bed kind of thing. That's why I keep exercising. And I tell my sisters and everybody else, okay, you got to keep moving. You don't move it, you lose it. And that's true. If you don't move it, you lose it. So that's very important to me, really, to just keep active, keep moving, and encourage other people to do the same thing. What motivates me is the feeling after exercising, honestly. And even on days, if I miss a day, it's like, okay, I need to do something. It's kind of a habit now. So I was like, okay, I need to go for a walk or do something. So, well, physically, another means of exercise, keeping it moving. Emotionally, it's kind of a outlet, really. If I have had a stressful day at the job, I kind of let loose and just enjoy the moment, line dance with my friends, people I line dance with. That to me is really, what's special about line dancing, really, because it's like a decompressor, really. If I don't care how stressful the day was, once we hit the floor, oh my gosh, it's focusing on that. And also cognitively, line dancing really does help because remembering the steps, because there are a lot of line dances and a lot of steps, but just remembering the sequence, that helps mentally, even. So I think it's a win-win. I think there are the most important things, those little things that we do. Just drinking water. You'd be amazed at how many people don't drink water. It's like, okay, you gotta drink water. Coffee, no, have your coffee, but you gotta drink water. I don't care. And people drink sodas. No, you need to drink water. Our body is like 60% water, as mostly water. So you have to drink water. If not, that's when the wrinkles start setting in, and that's when the bones start creeping because you don't have enough fluid between the joints. All that stuff. So those little habits, drinking water, making some good food choices. You gotta eat vegetables. Come on, man. A lot of people don't, but think about your body. You need these things, just do these little decisions that we make every day about what we eat, how long we're going to stay up all night trying to watch TV or get the proper rest, because that's important. It's those little things that really make a big difference. I really feel like, especially as we age, they're very important. That's interesting because it is a male-dominated field, but I think actually over the years I've kind of found my place, and I've learned to, that what I have to offer is important, and not be as intimidated. Early in the field, yeah, I would sit back and be quiet, and I knew stuff, but I didn't speak up as much. But now it's almost like, okay, they wait for me. Okay, what's she got to say? Because I have something to say. So I think really just becoming more comfortable in speaking up, being present at the table, and making sure that what I'm thinking or my thoughts are actually relayed to the general public that I'm working with there. So I think over the years that has been the biggest change, really, not to be intimidated by so many males at the table that I felt like what I had to offer was not important. And I realized it is. And I offer it as much as I can. So I think my biggest piece of advice would be bring yourself to the table. Bring yourself to wherever you work at. Be your authentic self, and not feel like you have to be somebody else or, be quiet, if you have something to offer, because that's why you were brought into the industry. That's why you were brought into that job, because of your knowledge. So share that. Don't be so intimidated by the other people at the table that you hold back thinking, okay, they're going to think I'm stupid, or whatever they might think, whatever you think they might think. Just share the knowledge that you have, and don't, just bring your authentic self to your job and really share the wisdom that you have, because that's why you were brought into it.